Srinivasan on the NewsHour tonight. New revelations detail what the Obama administration knew of Russian meddling in the presidential election and the internal debate about how to punish President Putin.
And I'm Judy Woodruff reporting from Colorado at the Aspen Institute's Spotlight Health Conference. As Congress fights over replacing Obamacare, we tackle the controversy over drug pricing with Stephen Ubel, head of PhRMA, the nation's largest pharmaceutical trade association.
We think as an industry, the pricing model needs to evolve. We need to move away from paying for volume to paying for the value of care.
And uniting a community through health, how one Muslim-based group is bringing a Chicago neighborhood together by focusing on its most basic needs.
How are you going to change anything in your neighborhood if you really can't start with the place that really sustains the neighborhood, and that's the food?
And it's Friday. Mark Shields and David Brooks are here to analyze the week's news.
All that and more on tonight's PBS NewsHour.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by
economy for 160 years. BNSF, the engine that connects us.
The Ford Foundation, working with visionaries on the front lines of social change worldwide. And with the ongoing support of these institutions. And friends of the NewsHour. This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
The Senate Republican health care bill has suffered another critical defection, the fifth so far. Nevada Republican Dean Heller announced in Las Vegas today that he can't support the bill in its current form.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to get me to a yes. They have a lot of work to do, but you have to protect Medicaid expansion states. That's what I want. Make sure that we're taken care of here in the state of Nevada. That's going to be a very difficult lift because I can see the other side is going to have problems with that.
4 other Senate Republicans opposed the measure over its subsidies, but with Democrats united in opposition, GOP leaders can't afford to lose more than 2 of their own and still pass the bill. President Trump says he wanted to force former FBI Director James Comey to be honest about their conversations when he suggested there might be tapes. He spoke to Fox News after announcing yesterday that he did not make recordings. As for firing special counsel Robert Mueller, he said, quote, "We're going to have to see." Later, the White House said Mr. Trump has no intention of doing that. In Cincinnati, the murder trial of a former university police officer ended today in a hung jury for a second time. Ray Tenzing killed an unarmed black man during a traffic stop in July of 2015. He testified that he feared Sam DuBose was trying to drag him or run him over. After a judge declared a mistrial today, DuBose's family called it an unjust result. City officials urged calm.
As a city, we will make sure that people who are feeling a variety of emotions, and in my opinion justifiably so, have a right to express themselves peacefully. And we have every expectation that that will be the case.
The University of Cincinnati fired Tenzing last year after his indictment. North Korea is denying responsibility for the death of Otto Warmbier, the American student it held for more than a year. He passed away this week, days after being returned home in a coma. In a statement, the North Korean Foreign Ministry said, quote, "The fact that Warmbier died suddenly is a mystery to us as well." Saudi Arabia and 3 other Gulf Arab nations have issued 13 demands to Qatar. They've already imposed an economic blockade, accusing the Persian Gulf Kingdom of supporting terror groups. Today, they said Qatar must shut down the broadcaster Al Jazeera and downgrade diplomatic relations with Iran, among other steps. Qatar said it's reviewing the demands. Officials in London began evacuating 5 apartment buildings late today over fire concerns. Hundreds of people are affected, and repairs could take several weeks. The buildings have siding similar to a high-rise that erupted in flames last week, killing 79 people. Investigators confirmed today that the siding on that building likely contributed to the flames' rapid spread.
Preliminary tests on the insulation samples collected from Grenfell Tower showed that they combusted soon after the test started. The initial tests on the cladding tiles also failed the safety tests.
The investigators say the fire started in a refrigerator. They're considering manslaughter and other criminal charges against companies that built and maintained the apartment tower. Negotiations are officially underway to sort out Britain's exit from the European Union. Today, at an EU summit, British Prime Minister Theresa May promised no EU nationals living in the United Kingdom would have to leave. May called it a good, constructive start, but EU leaders were less enthused. Russia's National Election Commission has barred opposition leader Alexei Navalny from running for president. The commission says a criminal conviction for embezzlement makes him ineligible. The anti-corruption activist maintains the case was politically motivated. Back in this country, U.S. military leaders will seek a 6-month delay before allowing transgender people to enlist. The Associated Press reports service chiefs are sending that recommendation to Defense Secretary James Mattis. He will make the final decision. A ban on transgender troops serving openly ended last year. The service chiefs want more time to develop policies on the change. President Trump has signed a bill aimed at making the government more accountable to military veterans. Vets and their families looked on during today's ceremony. The bill gives the Department of Veterans Affairs more power to fire employees and protect whistleblowers. And on Wall Street, stocks struggled to make any headway. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 2 points to close at 21,394. The Nasdaq rose 28 points, and the S&P 500 added 3. Still to come on the News Hour, new revelations on the Obama administration's response to Russia. The head of the nation's largest pharmaceutical group on the battle over health care, how a Muslim group is rebuilding a Chicago community, and much more. There are new revelations today about how President Obama learned of Russia's efforts to tip the 2016 election in Donald Trump's favor and how his administration responded. I spoke a short time ago to Greg Miller, national security correspondent for The Washington Post, who co-authored a lengthy investigation that the paper published today on this topic. I began by asking about the role Putin played.
In early August, the CIA comes to the White House with a really remarkable piece of intelligence. It's drawn on sourcing deep inside the Russian government. It establishes that Putin himself is directing this operation, this election interference that is just unfolding in the United States. But it goes one step farther than that, and that's what's most interesting and extraordinary to me. It also captures Putin's instructions on what the objectives of this operation are. He identifies those objectives as denigrating, damaging Hillary Clinton, trying to help defeat her, and trying to help elect Donald Trump.
You also point out the levels of secrecy and precaution taken by the administration and the intelligence agencies in how this information gets to the president, and even how people meet to talk about it and share information.
Yeah, it's really remarkable, the precautions that the administration was taking with this information. This intel, when it's delivered to the White House, is brought by courier in an envelope with restricted markings on it. It's eyes only, which means it can only be shared with the 4 people who are named on the envelope, President Obama and 3 of his senior aides. They then have to, when they're done reading this thing, put it back in the envelope, send it straight back to the CIA. It sets in motion a series of meetings briefings, high-level meetings at the White House. In the Situation Room, only 4 senior officials are initially allowed to participate, although that circle begins to widen in the ensuing weeks. And even there, there were things that I didn't know about how the White House works. That apparently in the Situation Room, there are video cameras that send feeds to other offices in the White House so that others sitting at their desks can monitor what's happening in that room. All those feeds were shut off for all of these discussions. The only time that had ever happened before was in the run-up to the bin Laden operation in 2011.
Let's talk a little bit about what the Obama administration tried to do about it. They debated a menu of options, so to speak, for quite some time.
Right. So they debated and debated and debated. That went on for months after this bombshell intelligence report from the CIA. They get off to a fast start. There are groups, NSC, interagency groups that are convening at the White House and kicking around ideas that are really aggressive. Sector-wide economic sanctions that could put a dent in Russia's economy. Cyber retaliation that could take portions of Russia's power grid or other targets offline for short periods. Even releasing embarrassing information on Putin, the way he was sort of accused of orchestrating embarrassing leaks about Hillary Clinton. None of those end up surviving this debate process that goes well past the election, deep into November and December.
You also highlight kind of bureaucratic hurdles that the Department of Homeland Security goes out to the states that could be affected by this hacking and says, we'd like to help, but the voting infrastructure in America is not deemed critical enough?
Yeah, and this is one of those cases where the hyper-partisanship of our country right now really works against our security interests in many ways. So this is a case where the Obama administration is just trying to reach out to state officials saying, Russia's attacking us. We are worried about what might happen on Election Day. We want to try to help make sure that all of our voting systems are secure. We can run scans. We can try to be of assistance here. And Republicans in particular, state officials who resist this and see it as sort of an overreach, an attempted federal takeover of state authorities, and argue against it.
You point out that this is in the backdrop of a climate where there's an underlying assumption that Hillary Clinton is going to win, where Donald Trump has gone out and said the election is going to be rigged anyway, and really not until after the election does the Obama administration start to put all these pieces together.
Yeah, I don't think you can overestimate the importance of that, because the assumption not in the White House and as well as across media organizations like ours and across the country, frankly, there was just an assumption that we were looking at a coming Clinton administration. So inside the White House, their deliberations are, well, this is all important, but we're going to have time to deal with this after the election. In fact, if we don't finish dealing with it, well, the Clinton administration certainly can. And also, they don't want to take any action leading up to the election that would be perceived as interfering politically to help Hillary Clinton. They're worried that that would contaminate her expected triumph.
Greg Miller, the reporting is fantastic. You and your colleagues, Adam Antus and Ellen Nakashima, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
As the battle over health care rages in Congress, one constant complaint from consumers is over drug prices. Judy Woodruff is in Colorado with our look at that issue. Judy?
Thanks, Hari. The Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers Association, or PhRMA, is the nation's largest group representing drug companies. Stephen Ubel is its president and CEO. I sat down with him here at the Aspen Spotlight Health Conference today and began by asking about the latest Republican plan to overhaul Obamacare.
Well, it's still a very fluid dynamic, as you know. We haven't taken a formal position on the bill. I think it's clear that there's a direction towards more autonomy for states to shape their insurance markets as well as shaping their own insurance designs. So we'll be very engaged in this discussion, and the prism with which we'll look at it is making sure that patients have access to the breakthrough treatments and cures that our industry is developing.
The other major healthcare associations, hospitals, doctors, and others have been pretty critical. Is the pharmaceutical industry alone in a way, or almost alone, in not being as worried, as critical of what the Republicans are doing?
Well, I think it's fair to say that those stakeholders are focused on the same issues that we are. But again, I think the bill is still making its way through the process, and we'll be very engaged as the process unfolds.
We heard President Trump during the campaign speak about the high cost of prescription drugs. I guess it was not long after the election. He talked about the drug companies getting away with murder. We're now hearing, though, that the administration may not be coming down as hard on the pharmaceutical industry as some thought, moving to a different system. Is that your sense of what's happening, that you're going to get maybe a better treatment from this administration than some had expected?
I don't think I want to speculate on what the administration will do in this area. I will say that we had a very productive discussion with the president, with some of our leadership earlier in the year, and I think the president's focused on two things. One is ensuring that we continue to lead the world in developing better treatments and cures, and two, on jobs, ensuring that we have more domestic investment in the United States. And I think our industry is really poised to deliver on both of those fronts. You know, our industry spends $70 billion a year in research and development, which is more than any other industry. So in general, we're encouraged by the direction that we're heading.
I think everybody agrees drug prices are out of control in this country. Pfizer announced it's raising the prices of 100 drugs by 20%, including some well-known drugs like, I guess, Viagra and Lyrica. Drug companies have been sued, I know, by some state attorneys general, alleged collusion and rising prices. What's going on? I mean, what do you see as the problem here?
Well, I should start by trying to make sure that we're on the same fact basis. So if you look at Express Scripts, which is a leading PBM in the industry, pharmacy benefit manager, looking at spending in 2016, drug spending went up 3.5%, and net prices are up 2.8%. So if you went back 2 or 3 years, prescription drug spending was actually the lowest growing or slowest growing category in healthcare. We did go through a spike in 2014 and 2015, I would argue due to some anomalous factors. So FDA approved a record number of new drugs, Medicaid was expanded, and a new cure for hepatitis C was introduced, which revolutionized the treatment of that disease and will obviate the need for liver transplant, as well as reduce the incidence of liver cancer. We're now in the back half of that spike, if you will. The python has sort of digested the tennis ball. And even CMS's own actuaries estimate that drug spending will be between 4% and 6% for the next 10 years, which is roughly in line with overall healthcare spending.
Same time, a lot of finger pointing going on. I mean, in the healthcare industry, between the drug companies, the pharmacy benefit managers, hospitals, insurers, a lot of those fingers are being pointed, though, still at your industry.
Well, we take these issues very seriously, and we think there are pragmatic, consumer-oriented solutions to address some of the issues that have been raised. So, for example, a lot of the media attention in the last year is focused on companies that are really nothing like our member companies. They're companies that are taking old drugs without market competition and raising the price dramatically. And we think there are policy solutions, primarily at the FDA, that would address those situations. Similarly, we think as an industry, the pricing model needs to evolve. We need to move away from paying for volume to paying for the value of care.
And I was reading that's what the administration is among the things the administration is looking at. I've also read, though, that the critics look at that and say that in the end, it may work for some people, but it's not going to work for everybody who needs prescription drugs.
Well, this, again, our sector may be a little bit lagging other healthcare sectors in this movement towards paying based on value as opposed to the volume of care. But it's one of those rare areas in healthcare policy where everyone agrees. Payers want to move in this direction. Our members want to move in this direction. Providers want to move in this direction. Again, if we take cancer therapy, we want to be able to offer novel discounts, but there's a number of public policy barriers that stand in the way of moving in that direction.
One of the fundamental questions I've heard out there is why can't, for example, Veterans Administration, folks get drug prices much lower than what ordinary people can get. Why can't there be some sort of movement in that direction? Why can't there be negotiations with Medicare over the price of drugs?
I think there's been a little bit of a clinical trial on this question. If you look at countries that have adopted models like the VA on a broad scale, the UK, for example, what you find is that patients have less access to novel therapies. And we think that would be a movement in the wrong direction. So the VA, keep in mind, is a closed system, a small number, relatively small number of hospitals and consumers. If you take those price controls and expand them to the entire market, you're going to reduce patient access and we think create distortions that impact the rest of the market. So we believe it's much better to move in the direction of negotiations in the private sector between our members and plans, again, to try to achieve some specific metrics tied to patient outcomes and then be reimbursed on a differential basis based on whether the patient actually achieves those outcomes.
Finally, opioids. As you know very well, I think something like 33,000 people died from opioid abuse in 2015. They expect the number to go up last year, this year, and so on. We know towns are overwhelmed. Critics are saying so much of this lies at the feet of drug companies that are promoting drugs that people get hooked on, and then those same companies minimizing or even trivializing the impact. How do you, as someone who sits in such a responsible position, look at this?
I can assure you that, speaking personally and on behalf of the industry, that no one trivializes the crisis that we're facing in this country around opioids. But it is a multifactorial crisis. There's lots of stakeholders that need to come together on a solution: prescribing physicians, manufacturers, treatment facilities, state and local governments. And for our part, we're committed to engaging with all those stakeholders to find solutions.
And is there going to be a change, do you think?
Well, just to give you an example, the industry is in favor of mandatory training for healthcare professionals to learn more about pain management, to learn more about appropriate prescribing. So we want to be part of the solution to this problem.
Stephen Ubel, the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's great to be with you.
Some of the most influential figures in healthcare are here in Aspen, and we'll air some of my interviews with them from Spotlight Health next week. Plus, at the end of this broadcast, we'll meet a choreographer who explains why we always feel better after dancing. Hari?
Stay with us. Coming up on the News Hour, Mark Shields and David Brooks take on the week's news. One reverend's mission to bridge racial and class divides through what he calls moral revival. But first, the south side of Chicago has long been plagued with some of the highest crime rates in the nation. But one man is trying to transform this area by focusing on the everyday needs and the health of those who live there. Jeffrey Brown has our story.
Along this stretch on Chicago's south side, Rami Nashashibi is a familiar face. He's the founder of the nonprofit Iman, the Inner City Muslim Action Network. And for more than 20 years, he's focused on the root problems these neighborhoods face.
So violence, poverty, lack of real meaningful job opportunities, lots of young people with very few meaningful trajectories. This set of blocks was ravaged by the foreclosure crisis.
Nashashibi grew up the son of a Jordanian diplomat. He first came to the U.S. for college and later got a Ph.D. in sociology from the University of Chicago. He started Iman in 1997 to help bridge divides he saw between Muslim immigrants and African Americans. The organization has grown ever since and now has an annual budget of nearly $4 million, with funding from a mix of grants and private donations. This is social activism, he says, grounded in faith.
We've been unapologetically rooted in the values and spiritual tradition that comes from the Muslim community, while at the same time acknowledging that so much of that is also very universal.
One major focus of the organization, neighborhood corner stores. The small shops that many here rely on in the absence of supermarkets in these neighborhoods. but also places that have historically generated tensions between the Arab immigrants who own them and their African American customers.
See that sugar?
Iman is trying to change that.
That corner store doesn't have to be what many corner stores in Chicago are, often a place of death, not a spot that you really want to go into, that we could radically reimagine it.
At the Morgan Mini Mart in Englewood, store owner Sami Defala, who immigrated from Palestine, is one of 60 store owners in the area who've signed on to Iman's Corner Store campaign.
We've been in the neighborhood for 27 years.
So some information on the benefits of eating fruits.
The idea is to bring everyone together around a common need, fresh and more healthy food.
We've stepped it up. With their help, we've been able to acquire fruits and vegetables that are subsidized, a lot lower price, and in turn we sell them at a lot lower price. So that way it's a win-win, right?
And it is much needed, says Iman Shamar Hemphill.
You know, it's a war on nutrition that's constantly killing our communities. Black men die at higher rates, contributing to their diet, right? How are you going to change anything in your neighborhood if you really can't start with the place that really sustains the neighborhood, and that's the food?
Sami Defala says in the process, a new trust has emerged between him and his customers.
People talk. People in the community talk. Hey, listen, that guy is a good guy there. You know, you don't want to go in there and do him any harm or any wrong.
Deep breath.
Just a few blocks away, Iman also operates a free health clinic.
All set.
Okay.
Here, physician's assistant Muna Ode, whose family immigrated from Palestine, treats many like 58-year-old Jerome Reynolds, a diabetic without insurance.
People who are underserved and often forgotten. And a lot of times they feel that they are not in control of their situation and not in control of their health because of their limited access to funds and insurance and things like that. What are you eating at night?
Here, too, there's an emphasis on making better food choices.
Can you come in next week and we talk about your medications?
And there's another benefit to this interaction, Muna Ode says, a better understanding of Muslim Americans.
All they know is what they see on TV, and obviously that's not ever painted in the best light. And that's especially important for me, being a Muslim female who's covered, who wears a hijab. It shows them that we are the same and our struggles are all the same.
Dr. Angela Odoms-Young, a professor of nutrition at the University of Illinois, Chicago, is studying Iman's work. She sees positive results.
Traditionally, we used to focus on individuals. Can you make a good decision when it comes to healthy eating? We now know from a research perspective that community matters. It's really important that you have access to fruits and vegetables, not just what you can do as an individual.
Odoms-Young says that Iman is helping to break a long-held myth that residents of low-income communities simply don't want healthier food.
There's many people in low-income communities and communities of color that they're very interested in having access to healthy food options. But one of the big problems is the structural barriers.
Another structural barrier being tackled here, finding jobs for men like Khalid Party, a former gang member and drug dealer.
I did 14 years in federal prison.
After his release, Party earned a technical degree in heating and air conditioning ventilation.
I graduated in a year and a half at the top of my class.
He credits Nashashibi with helping to turn around his life and now teaches construction skills to men recently released from prison. Part of Iman's re-entry program that was designed to provide both jobs and to fix up abandoned homes in the neighborhood.
When these guys come out of prison, if we can try to get them a trade quickly or get them accustomed to being in a working condition, getting up in the morning and coming to class or getting up going to work, you start making better decisions. You know, you stop taking less chances because your responsibility, you got more people that rely on you now.
For Rami Nashashibi, it's all part of meeting the needs of residents in these often neglected neighborhoods. But even after 20 years, he admits that far more work is needed.
You know, for every one person you're able to employ, there's 50 that are looking for jobs. For every block that you stabilize, there's the sense that, you know, there's 25, 35 blocks that need that exact same intervention.
brothers and sisters being...
Undaunted, Iman is actually expanding. It's opened a new center in Atlanta and hopes to work in other cities around the nation. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Jeffrey Brown in Chicago.
And to the analysis of Shields and Brooks. That's syndicated columnist Mark Shields and New York Times columnist David Brooks. David, let me start with you. Let's start talking about the health care plan that the Senate rolled out this week. Are you surprised at what's different, what's the same between the House bill?
I'm a little surprised. First, it's sort of Obamacare light. It's not going to work. It's functionally non-operational because it'll encourage people when they're healthy to exit the system and then go back into the system when they're sick. And that's a recipe for a death spiral in a lot of places. So I think functionally it's not going to work. Politically, I have to say it's kind of canny. Mitch McConnell had these two wings of his party, and I think he steered as well as is possible to steer down the middle to give the right, the Ted Cruz folks, the cuts in Medicaid and Medicare and stuff like that. He gave the center basically the structure of Obamacare with some of the rules about pre-existing conditions. So I think politically it's an act of skill. And as I look forward, is this thing going to pass? I still think probably not, because I don't think you can get the whole Republican Party behind this thing. But I'm reminded not to underestimate Mitch McConnell.
Have the Republicans made the case that this is something better, or just that this is not Obamacare?
It's not Obamacare. What it does, you got to start with what kind of country are we in? We're in a country where widening inequality. And so I think it's possible to be a conservative and to support market mechanisms, basically to redistribute wealth down to those who are suffering. This bill does not do that. It goes the other way. So I think fundamentally it does not solve the basic problem our country has, which is a lot of people are extremely vulnerable. And so I didn't think, as a solution to any of the range of healthcare problems, I don't think it's it. I don't even think it's repealing Obamacare. It's a cheaper version of Obamacare.
Mark?
Two things hit me. First of all, we know there's been no debate, no hearings, so that's been a cry. But it's interesting because there is no public case to be made for the Republican plan. None. I mean, at least with Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, you could say no lifetime limit. Children could stay on their parents' plan to the age of 26. No pre-existing condition will deny you coverage. No lifetime illness will knock you off. I mean, there was a case. You could argue against the case. There is no public case that has been made in either the House or the Senate. So they hold no hearings, and there's no public debate because they don't want to take the time to make the case for it because they don't have a case. And they don't want to give the other opposition the time to make the case against it. And what it is, the only thing the House and the Senate are consistently faithful on is that it is a major tax cut. It is a redistribution. Obama, who was, if anything, overly moderate for many tastes, did in fact lay it on the most advantaged among us to pay to cover people who couldn't afford it in his plan. And a 3.8% tax on unearned income for those earning over $250,000 became the rallying cry, the organizing principle for the opposition. And that's the one constant that's been through it all. Warren Buffett, to his everlasting credit, pointed out that he will get a tax cut under the Republican plan this year of $630,000. That's the redistribution. In the richest nation in the history of the world, it is a terrible indictment, a sad commentary that the most vulnerable among us, the least among us, are really tossed off as a political statement.
Well, what's the Democratic counter to this? I mean, I realize that they support Obamacare at its core, but what about the things that they can agree on that need improvements? Why not come up with some sort of a counter and a fix and propose that?
It's a good question. That's one of the reasons there's been no debate. I mean, is that there hasn't been the opportunity for debate if you foreclose it. But no, the Democrats have chosen to focus all attention on the other. I mean, I think it's one of the problems the Democrats have. I think they learned this week in the Georgia 6 that there are limits to being against Donald Trump. Although Donald Trump expands the limits on a regular basis, there are limits to being against him as a political strategy and to have political relevance to voters. You have to be for.
What do you think about the likelihood of passage?
You know, I am not sure. I mean, Mitch McConnell is a master inside player. He's a terrible outside player. I mean, he doesn't make a public case for it. But inside, he knows the Senate well. What we've had now 5 senators say that they would have problems with it, which is sort of the opening negotiation. Dean Heller, who we saw earlier in Nevada, is is in real trouble. He's up for re-election, a tough state, and a state that's expanded Medicaid. I mean, Medicaid, Hari, I think, is health care for poorer Americans. And what this plan does is essentially starve Medicaid. The Senate does it slower, the House does it faster.
He brought up the special elections. We've had 5 now. The Republicans seem to be holding, if not winning. Is this trouble for the Democrats?
I think so. I think the Georgia loss is a big loss. I don't think it's this is always a Republican district. It's not such a big deal. If the Democrats are going to pick up seats, it's going to be in upscale, highly educated suburban seats. And this was tailor-made for that, a seat that Trump barely won. And so if after all that's happened in the last 4 or 5 months, they can't pick up that seat, that to me is an indictment. It's first a sign that there's limits to being anti-Trump. Second, that the Trump phenomenon was not just a fluke, that it's based on some deep structural things in the economy that are driving people to support the Republicans. Some deep structural things in the country that people are extremely distrustful of government and extremely distrustful of Washington. There's also a sign that the Republicans, despite all that's happened, are still considered the party of change. And if they want change, they're still likely to go to the Republicans. And finally, it's a sign the Democratic Party is too coherent. They've got a Bernie Sanders wing, which is strong and coherent, but that's not the kind of wing that's going to work in this district. And the Democratic center, aside from the one candidate they had down there, is meager. And without that, there are going to be just a lot of districts you're not going to do so great in.
Mark, he had a 4-point answer.
I did, but I'll cut it down to 2. Okay? No, politics isn't like the Olympics. In the Olympics, you get a silver medal, you get a bronze medal. There's only one winner. And David's right. I mean, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades and in slow dancing. I mean, coming in second, and even a good second, and a close second, doesn't do it. Winning is coming in first, and the Republicans did win. Yes, it's a district that Mitt Romney carried by 24 points, and John McCain carried by 19 points. But one of the things that it turned out was when you spend that much money, and give the Republicans credit, they turned out the Republican vote. When you spend that much money, then the intensity and the passion of the opposition, who were the Democrats in this case, is kind of neutralized by the turnout. There were 260,000 people who voted Tuesday in a special election, which is 50,000 more than voted in the 2014 general election. So, I mean, it was a remarkable turnout, and you can't argue that, gee, if we just had 2 more days, it would have been. I think the Democrats have to come up with what they are for. What is it, rather than simply being against Donald Trump, which.
I do think I'd be curious to hear Mark's view on this. I do think on net, Nancy Pelosi can be a very masterful leader, again, inside. But I do think she's become a central liability for people around the country. Now, the question would be, okay, if they got rid of Nancy Pelosi as party leader, would the next person be just as unpopular? And potentially, but I think potentially not. And I do think if you're a Democrat, you do have to think about who is currently the face of our party.
Pelosi says she's worth the cost.
Well, Nancy Pelosi, I've said before, was the most effective House Speaker in my time in Washington. I mean, what she did, we talk about the Affordable Care Act. Barack Obama did not pass the Affordable Care Act. Nancy Pelosi passed the Affordable Care Act. She passed it 3 times to the House of Representatives. She's raised $141 million the last cycle for Democrats. I mean, sadly, tragically, money does matter. Paul Ryan's Political Action Committee, with unnamed donors, spent $7 million in this special election. So I think, Republicans have been running since 1984, when Jeane Kirkpatrick gave a keynote address at the convention against San Francisco Democrats. And maybe Nancy Pelosi not a dress designer and buy off the rack or whatever else, but I don't think it's going to change. And I don't think she will be the determining factor on the ballot in voters' minds in 2018.
Finally, some of the statements that have been coming out of the White House, more specifically from Donald Trump, yesterday saying he didn't know that there were any tapes or any recordings, that he didn't make any. I mean, this follows a dozen false statements at the rally that he had in Iowa this week, and then you kind of just go right back to how President Obama bugged Trump Tower, or the millions of illegal votes for Hillary, or the size of the crowd at the inauguration. I mean, any structural consequence to the office of this? Because it doesn't seem to be having an impact on him.
Right, and I wonder, what's going to happen to our debate after Trump leaves, whenever that is? Do we snap back to what we consider the normal standards of honesty, or is this the new norm? And that's why, even though it doesn't seem to hurt Trump to point out, as my paper did in a long list today, the definitive guide to the lies of Donald Trump, I think it's still worth making that case, because the thing we have to fear most is essentially a plague of intellectual laziness, a plague of incuriosity, a plague of apathy about honesty. And once the whole political system gets affected by that, then we're really sunk. And so I do think keeping his feet on the fire, no matter how little he pays price for it, is still worth doing.
Mark?
I'd say this. He's paying a price in the sense the Wall Street Journal NBC poll, they asked voters, whom do you believe, James Comey or Donald Trump? And by a 2-to-1 margin, voters believe James Comey, who until a month ago was a villain to so many Democrats because of the Hillary Clinton race. He's not, overwhelmingly, Americans do not believe that he's honest or he's trustworthy, he's knowledgeable, he's experienced, or he has the right temperament. I mean, it's by a 48-16 margin, they believe the opposite. And that is a real liability for anybody who wants to lead a country.
But in that same poll, you see that it's 78% of Dems, 26% of Republicans who have that trust in that case. So, Mark Shields, David Brooks, we'll leave it there. Thank you. We hear a lot about how divided our country is along many lines, race, class, and especially now, our politics. But in our next Race Matters conversation, NewsHour special correspondent Charlayne Hunter-Gault talks with the co-authors of The Third Reconstruction, how a moral movement is overcoming the politics of division and fear, about their success in bridging these divides.
In recent weeks, Reverend William Barber stepped down from heading the NAACP in North Carolina to focus on what he calls a national moral revival, updating the Poor People's Campaign, started by the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. that linked the civil rights struggle for African Americans to demands for equality for all poor people.
There was this thing, if you will, called the White Southern Strategy. And the goal of it was to undermine black and white fusion coalition. What we're going to do is we're going to figure out a way to talk that makes poor whites think that they're losing because black people and brown people are gaining. And what you do in that is you make poor whites, and who should be allies with poor blacks, think that their problem, their poverty, is being caused because black and brown people are acquiring something or taking something from them.
So what led you to try and bridge that gap? And what made you want to do that?
Dr. King said back in the 60s, he said, the only transformative force that could really fully transform America would be for poor whites and blacks and brown people and working people to come together.
Jonathan Wilson Hartgrove's conversion began when he first met Reverend Barber. Before that, he'd been a young Republican who had worked both for the Moral Majority, a political group associated with the Christian right and the Republican Party, and also for conservative South Carolina Senator Strom Thurmond.
What was your own attitude about poor black people and black people in general?
Well, so I was raised in the Southern Baptist Church in a sundown town. Until 1983, there was a sign at the edge of our town that told black people they weren't welcome there after the sun went down.
I've read that you call yourself a racist in those days.
I didn't know I was a racist, but Reverend Barber helped me see that I was a racist, and more importantly, that my racism was getting in the way of loving Jesus, which is what I really wanted to do.
Wilson Hartgrove first heard Reverend Barber some 20 years ago at a meeting called by the North Carolina governor. Reverend Barber delivered a motivational speech to a gathering of young people. Wilson Hartgrove was moved by what Barber said and began to understand how racism had been used as a tool to divide. Growing up poor, Wilson Hartgrove had never before realized what he had in common with poor black people.
We were taught to believe that there were people who were poor because they chose to be poor. Mm-hmm. And that narrative kept us from seeing the way that our religion was being used to pit us against other people.
Reverend Barber has even taken his message into Appalachia and up to Mitchell County, North Carolina.
Mitchell County, North Carolina, is a place where in 1920 all the black people were run out of town over the accusation of a black man raping a white woman. It's 97% white, 77% Republican.
Wary but undeterred, Reverend Barber seized on the invitation of this rural white church.
I went in and talked to them for about an hour, and I said, listen, this legislature just denied Medicaid expansion. There are 1,000 people in this county that would get health care, and they can't be black, because there's no black people up here. They cut funding for public education. You are losing teachers here. And they have to be white. Now, you voted for some of the people because what they told you, they stood on prayer in the school and abortion and homosexuality. But let's look at what they're doing and how it's hurting you.
So basically what you did was to talk to them about the things that they had in common, and it registered, it permeated their consciousness.
You talk to people honestly, you talk to them about what it means to be a human being, and you show them the hypocrisy. You know, you show them how they're being fooled, if you will, that people are saying, I care about your best interests, but those people are actually putting in place policies that are hurting everybody.
What strategy did you use to reach people who had been brought up like Jonathan? What did you do to convince them that this was not right?
I know that many of my white evangelical friends, or many African Americans who have bought into this kind of a public engagement type faith, really have been introduced to, and I say this very sorrowfully, a form of heresy and a form of theological malpractice, to try to suggest that Jesus was just about a little prayer and a little preaching and a little worship and a little charity. The very Jesus that white evangelicals claim to lift up was a brown-skinned Palestinian Jew whose first sermon was challenging the economic exploitation of the empire.
Reverend Barber and Wilson Hartgrove have been working together in a multiracial movement known as Moral Monday, weekly protests held on the grounds of the North Carolina State Capitol in Raleigh, aimed at helping citizens understand their common interests around such issues as health care, voting rights, and immigration. Also, how they are affected by these and other governmental policies, regardless of race or class.
When we went into the first Moral Monday in a diverse role as clergy investment, first some people laughed, they said we were a nuisance, but then they started seeing more people come and they looked diverse. They said, that's my teacher getting arrested, that's my doctor, that's a black man and a white man walking together, that's a Jew and a rabbi and a Christian. What's going on? So people began to come, even though they didn't get arrested, they would come.
The Moral Monday movement is the foundation for Reverend Barber's latest project that he intends to take to some 25 states.
What can be learned from our experience is that white people need to talk about race honestly. We need to say, of course we're racist. This is a country that's built on white supremacy. You know, it's not like a personal failing. I inherited this. Racism is about structures that pass on what we inherited, right? Inequalities that we inherited are written into these structures, and when we help white people think about that, I think we're making it possible to form alliances that we haven't been able to form.
And black people can't be afraid of that. We have to look back in history. When black and white people came together right after the Civil War, we fundamentally changed this country. When black and white and brown people and Jews and Christians came together in the Civil Rights Movement, it was transformative.
Are you at all optimistic that the kinds of things that you're doing are going to make a difference in ending racism?
I think racism is the fundamental challenge to the American project. This is a country that was built on the original sin of race-based chattel slavery. It is how the concentrated capital in this country from the very beginning has maintained power. But I don't think that the future of America is possible without dealing with it.
I'm hopeful. Optimism is a different thing. I believe we have to be the kind of what I call moral dissenters, moral defibrillators who shock the nation. But we also are seeing something in the wind. You have white people marching with Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. I heard a friend of mine who's a Sikh, and she put it like this, She said, a tomb is dark and a womb is dark. But there's a difference. A tomb is death, a womb is possibility. It's dark now, but if we push together and come together, I think this is a birthing moment.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Charlene Hunter-Gault.
We go back to Judy now in Aspen. Judy?
Thanks, Hari. We want to introduce you to Alonzo King, a noted choreographer who believes dance improves our spirits, and that in turn has a direct effect on our health. Take a look.
And so see that there's not much space between us? My name is Alonzo King. I'm the artistic director of Alonzo King Lines Ballet. It's a San Francisco-based international touring ballet company. We're invited to the Health Festival here at Aspen, and I brought 4 dancers from the company to do a demonstration and talk about how health and art are intertwined. My mother took dancing at university, and when I was a kid, she would show me things, and I had a blast with intimacy with my mom, plus I loved moving, so I never stopped. There is a triumvirate of body, mind, soul that is in a balancing act for health. If something is imbalanced, then it's diseased. The performance that we do here on Friday is largely a lecture demonstration, displaying how dance is really ideas, that it's thought made visible in the same way that music is thought made audible. Our hope is that the mind will be stirred and the heart will be moved. And you may argue with it. You want them to hear it and to have some response to it. When I first began dancing, I had no idea that it was a profession. I just knew that it was an experience that made the outer world dim. And I felt larger and euphoric. And I realized that when you have that experience inside yourself, you know that every human being has that potential for that experience.
Tune in later tonight on Washington Week. Robert Costa's roundtable of reporters put the GOP alternative to Obamacare under the microscope. Find out how your health coverage could change depending on where you live. That's later tonight on Washington Week. On PBS NewsHour Weekend Saturday, are privately run prisons helping or hurting the system?
And before we go, on my way to Colorado this week, I stopped off in Nebraska for an exclusive interview with the so-called Oracle of Omaha, billionaire Warren Buffett. We had a wide-ranging conversation, everything from taxes to health care to why there aren't more women in top roles in business. There was another report that came out recently, the Fortune 500 boards of companies, the number of women directors, board of directors, members has gone down. We don't see that many women running companies, even as we used to be, or maybe there are a few more, but it's not a dramatic. What's going on with women?
This country made such a terrible mistake. I mean, we said all men are created equal in 1776, and then we proceeded to act like women were entitled to be secretaries or nurses or maybe teachers. And so we took 50% of our talent and put them on the sidelines in this country. And it's really a tribute. It makes me very optimistic about America because at least we're getting to the point where we're starting to use close to all of our talent compared to when we initially said 50% don't even count. When I went to Columbia Business School, there was one woman in our class, Maggie Shanks. My sisters, I've got one on each side, 3 years about on each side of me, and they're both absolutely as smart as me. I mean, we all took an IQ test together, and my older sister, since I came close, but so they didn't have didn't have remotely the same. They were told in a million ways, not by words, just by all kinds of signals from both parents and teachers, that they were loved as much as I was, but their job was to marry early and marry well, and for me the sky was the limit. And it was a very, very, very unfair world. And we've made significant progress on that. There's more progress in some areas than others, but we still got a long way to go.
And there was much more. Part 1 of my interview with Warren Buffett airs Monday night. And that's it from Aspen for tonight. I'm Judy Woodruff.
And I'm Hari Srinivasan. From all of us at the PBS NewsHour, have a great weekend. Thank you, and see you soon.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by BNSF Railway.
Supporting social entrepreneurs and their solutions to the world's most pressing problems. SkollFoundation.org.
The William and Flora Hewlett Foundation, helping people build measurably better lives.
And with the ongoing support of these institutions. And Friends of the NewsHour. This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
You're watching PBS.
When you're planning a picnic, then suddenly you hear a thunder crack. That's ominous. That's ominous.